going on, guys? Banana and the Bee podcast, volume 13. I'm here with my friend Dave Van Auken. How are you today?
Doing good, Tay. Woo! That hair looking fresh, kid.
I got my face done, my hair done, my everything done. I'm feeling like a new woman, baby. 2022, new year, new me.
New year, I like that. I like that. Did you have a good New Year's?
It was very well. Okay, so first of all, Betty White died, so no, I did not have a good New Year.
I know.
Rest in peace, Betty.
What a fucking
that is the one
stud.
woman that I was like is gonna live forever.
Yeah.
I always thought Betty White would live forever, and when I found out she died, it really upset me. And I went home, slept, and watched Bringing Down the House because that's my favorite movie with Betty White in it, and slept. What about you? It was the girl's birthday. Happy birthday to the twins.
It was awesome. It was the girl's birthday. And it's so wild. We talked about in the last show, it's so much of like Christmas and then to the girl's birthday, but it was awesome. The boys were like really into it, and they're 2, so it's not like a big thing to them. But the boys were into it. We had cupcakes all day. We literally just not like kind of just vegged out, ate a lot, just kind of had good stuff. But it was really cool. So there was on Friday, Saturday night. Saturday was New Year's Day. Did some football stuff, hung around, but our neighbors had like fireworks, and it was awesome. They had such a good fireworks show. Dylan was super into it. I had this beautiful picture. Susie took this great picture. Like I put Dylan on my shoulders, and we're watching fireworks, Disney's level fireworks next door to us, and it was awesome. It was cool.
That's so much fun.
Yeah, I probably that's a little secret of mine. I love fireworks. Like I'm like a kid around fireworks. I just think it's so cool. I don't know why.
Yeah, I would love to go to Disney and watch the fireworks. I am not. It's funny because I'm not a New Year's person. Like so many people love New Year's, and I'm one of those people. I'm like, it's another day. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna sleep, and I'm gonna wake up, and it's gonna be the next year, and that's it. I don't think I've ever celebrated New Year's.
Really?
Really?
So you ready?
I'm ready.
So we got more stuff. We got a fun show like always. Guys, stuff happens. It's the fight game. We've had a couple different guests that didn't come through, but you ready, Taylor Starling? I have a guest that's coming through. He's going to come on around 15, 20 minutes from now. Super cool guy, super cool guest. I've talked to him before. I don't know if you talked to him. I'll text you his name off air so it's not like an awkward thing between us right now. But we do have a guest coming on the show in 15, 20 minutes.
I kind of want to be surprised.
Oh, okay. Do it.
Let's do it. We'll do a surprise guest. And this is fun.
This is awesome.
Life is crazy. People kind of flake out and can't make it. Sometimes on Mondays when we're filming, sometimes I'm like, Dave, I got a lot going on. I don't know if I'm going to make it. But yeah, we go with it. But you want to talk about KnuckleMania too before we get started?
Just got announced. Did you know that it was in Hollywood, Florida?
I did. And I thought that was great because Tampa was awesome. But that venue in Hollywood, Florida, baby, is to die for.
The best.
To die for. I would love to fight there. The freaking Hard Rock is shaped like a guitar. The vibe, the arena, it makes me think like someone's gonna perform an opera on stage. It's really good. So I wish I was fighting on that card. Who knows? Maybe something will come up. I don't know.
Whoa. Okay. First of all, let me back up. Okay. So I sent the link. He's got it. He'll come on in 20 minutes. He said 20, 25 minutes. So wait. There's a shot that you might fight at KnuckleMania?
They asked me when I was ready to fight again. And I said, baby, as soon as that bonus check clears my bank account, I'm all yours.
You see that thing? It says Taylor Starling 3-0 for bare knuckle, including the fight of the year in 2021. What?
It just wouldn't be right if I wasn't on KnuckleMania. You know what I mean?
It's a good point. And they keep on talking about all these different matchups. They keep on putting up people. So for one, I saw it on Ticketmaster, and it was Chad Mendez, his face, Mike Perry, his face, Britton, her face, and who was the fourth fighter's face? It was someone else.
Was it Julian Lane?
Palomino. It was Palomino. So when I saw that, I was like,
what's going on here?
Yeah, what's going on? You guys, everyone knows it was going to be Julian Lane versus Kaleb Harris for the title. That that's not a fight anymore. It's Kaleb Harris versus Brito on the 29th, Jackson, Mississippi. We'll jump into that in a second. We all know it's gonna be Mike Perry and Julian Lane and KnuckleMania. Like that's happening.
Fireworks.
Yeah.
But they sold that fight before they even booked the fight. Come on now.
I know. And then Chad Mendes, he's an absolute stud. One of the best fighters probably ever in Bare Knuckle FC. So I'm super intrigued to see what they're going to do with him.
I heard a rumor that he was going to be fighting Fames.
Really?
Which, you know who Fames is?
Yeah. I saw a picture of it.
Okay, I saw that too. And in my mind, I think that fight is so set up. But at the end of the day, Fames is willing to jump in there. I think it's cool. No hate there, but that's such a. But I think it's smart for Bare Knuckle. They want to build people up and give them.
You're saying it's not set up. It's set up for Chad to get a win.
Yes.
Okay.
I absolutely think so.
Yeah.
I'm good friends with Fames. I think Fames is cool as fuck. But I just think that matchup I saw and I went, man, you couldn't have made it any more like. But I love Chad Mendes too, so I'm happy for both of them. That's a great opportunity for Fames. But yeah, I mean, I guess it's smart. I think they learned their lesson with Paige Van Zandt.
So it's
okay. Like, oh, people are gonna come for me. But it's okay.
No, this is good. This is good. But when they showed Chad and Luis Palomino on the thing of that nature, I was like, whoa, because Luis to me is one of the best fighters in Bare Knuckle FC. He's the best male Bare Knuckle FC fighter. I think that highly of Luis Palomino, and he's the champ. And like him and Chad are around the same weight. I was like, they should do Chad versus Luis. Right?
That's a good fight.
That's a great fight. That's a KnuckleMania main event.
They want him to win. They want Chad and Bare Knuckle. They ain't gonna throw him in there and Palomino yet. But it would be a good fight. I'm here for it. But Britton's on the poster, and I saw Britton say something along the lines of, "Man, wish I was fighting on this card," or "I'm not fighting on this card." And then there was something today where she said, I don't even know what she said. I didn't really. Like, I read it for 1 second. I was like, something about someone not getting paid or something. I'm ready for KnuckleMania. Money, come on, let's go. It don't matter to me. I just want to fight.
Right, and I don't want to put any words into her mouth at all, but everything that I'm getting at from afar, from a complete stranger, I have no intake, no input, no no inside information on this. Just everything I'm hearing from Britton and seeing, it's like she's saying kind of like bye in a way to Bare Knuckle FC. Like I need to get paid more money or I'm leaving. She's mentioned the BYB. She's mentioned, I know there's like that fake title out there, the Bare Knuckle World title. I don't know. Like it just seems a lot is going on. It seems very messy. Seems messy.
And I didn't mean it in a shot at Britain. But I want to fight whoever. It doesn't matter who it is. I want to fight. I think KnuckleMania 2 would be great. I would say, like, I would be lying if I said my hands are, like, 100% perfect right now to fight. But you know how I am. I don't care. I'm going to go in there and fight you with no arms if I have to. But, yeah. It's crazy because it's like you hear all this stuff and, like, hype all this stuff. And then it's like the next day it's switched up. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know who's going where. But I do see that making sense. Like, I've said it before, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
Best quote ever.
But I'm the type that's like, I just want to fight, man. I can make money and I want them to pay me. I want them to pay me high. And pay me what I deserve. But at the same time, I'm like, I just want to fight.
Right. And I don't think people realize sometimes that winning at KnuckleMania 2, like if you fought, I'm just throwing out a name. Don't get upset, people. Everyone relax out there. Just I have her name in her head. I've talked to her before. Andrea Cummins. If you fought Andrea Cummins at KnuckleMania 2 and you got a win and you won impressively, like that would be good for the Killer Bee brand. Like that would be really nice and to keep your momentum undefeated, smashing people, you got a raffle about your sick ass like your stuff. Let's talk about that. Hit me up on that raffle.
Yes, I'm doing a raffle of my fight outfit that I fought Hannah Guy in. I'm always, I don't want to say this, but I'm always trying to make money because I don't work. I don't have a job right now. I was working 3 jobs. Now I'm not working, and you would think I'm just so rich and rolling in the dough, but I'm not. So I do things like that, and I want to do things that the fans enjoy and something they want, and like do it in a way that is benefiting me as well. And I get these crazy fight outfits made. If you had to guess how much that outfit cost me, how much would you think?
$6,000.
Oh my God, no, that's way too high. But that fight outfit was
$800.
600.
600. Okay.
600. That outfit was like hand sewn, stitched, designed, sponsors put on it, everything robed, bejeweled, and I get it. I take my sponsor money towards that, like outfits and things I need for the fight, and but it's got Hannah Guy's blood all over it, my blood all over it. I don't wash it because that's my war paint that's on there. I don't want to get rid of it, but it's sitting in my closet. So I'm like, why not give it to a fan who's deserving and also benefits me, benefits them, and I always try to do really cool stuff like that just to interact with the fans and give them what they want. They want that stuff. So if you guys want to enter my raffle, it ends on Friday. To get my fight outfit, it's going to have the top, the skirt, the robe, the big feather boa. I'm going to put in trading cards, pictures, and I'm going to honestly try to find some like random stuff around my house and just throw it in there. And we're going to see. We're going to see who wins. I got a few entries, but honestly, that the chances of winning the raffle are very high.
Okay. Oh, so how do you enter this raffle?
So you just buy a raffle ticket. I've got my Venmo, my PayPal, and my Cash App. It's on my Instagram.
Okay.
But $15 is per entry. You can enter as many times as you want. I'm going to sit down on Friday and I'm going to put all the names in like a generator that's basically going to do the raffle itself, and I'm going to announce it live. So, and I'm going to do like a really cool shout out and everything for whoever enters. So let's do it. I'm excited.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it. Our mystery guest, he says he's 18 minutes away. So that's just a little heads up, 18 minutes away. Our mystery guest. All right, so back to the raffle. I saw also on your Instagram stories a friend of yours, a really high-end supporter of yours, someone who's super high into the fight game, especially on the female side. Miss Kendra Lust even said,
Kendra Lust,
sign it, send me the gear, I'll sign it, do whatever you want. I was like, gee,
yeah,
okay.
Kendra Lust, man, she is the nicest, most generous, awesome, fight-loving, beautiful woman. And I mean, I know people try to always tie her to other things, but she's so fucking sweet and so nice and so supportive and so cool. So yeah, Kendra was like, whoever wins this outfit, if you want to send it to me first, I'll sign it and send it your way. So that just sweetens the deal. You get an outfit signed by Kendra Lust with my blood on it. Like, I don't know how much more. I don't know what more you guys could have wanted from me.
You've given up your blood for the people, Tay.
My blood. Your blood.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's good. I know it sounds so. I'm a big fan of raffles. I love raffles. Like, yeah, any kind of like lottery raffles, I'm into. I like it.
So many people come for me because they're like, why don't you keep that outfit forever? I have so many fight outfits. I keep a lot of them. Like, I have my outfit from Jenny Savage because there was so much blood in that fight that the outfit is completely soaked in blood. So I have that one. I have the one from Cassie Robb. I have the one from my pro boxing debut, like my professional debut. And I just can't keep all of these. Like, they're going to rack up. And I think maybe when I fight for the title, I'll keep that outfit for sure.
Yeah.
But as far as the rest of them go, I want someone to have it that's going to really enjoy it.
We next, maybe the one for the title, we'll frame like the bottom or the top or something. We'll put it here in the studio.
It's going to have a banana and a bee on it. Of course.
One, we got t-shirts in the works. We got t-shirt ideas working. I didn't know how much of a process it was. So I emailed over. So Taylor Starling calls me 3-4 days ago and says, "Hey, Dave, I'm about the t-shirt game. We got to get into this." I'm like, "I'm about it too. Let's go." So there's different options and stuff that we can do. But because I know someone who did the Dave Van Auken shirts, so I reached out to him and he goes, "Yeah, that sounds good." And we want to have 3 different options. We want to have the logo, the brand, the podcast, the banana and the bee, and maybe something else with it, but more cool, easy, generic. And then we're going to have one leaning towards the killer bee side, probably a beautiful picture of Taylor, a bee, something nice, something awesome, maybe a couple of tattoos on the sleeve. I don't know, we'll do something. And then we'll do something towards the banana side, very wholesome and handsome, something with hair coming out of it.
Super dad of the year, media extraordinaire. Yes.
Professional communicator. So like when I threw that out there. So I sent the email to him. He's like, "Oh, okay. Well, give me around 10 days to 2 weeks to kind of conform all these ideas and put it onto a shirt. And then we can, mess around with it." I was like, oh, this is a process. I just thought like you would send me something tomorrow. I'll say yes or no.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, maybe 2023 we'll have brand new shirts.
They'll be here at some point. They're coming. They're coming though. Better late than never.
Yeah.
I saw you making cookies with Hannah Goldie.
Yeah. How'd you like? Do you watch that? You liked it?
Yes, you guys are so funny. I was so jealous and so envious. I wanted to be there. It felt like I was there, but I wasn't.
It was pretty awesome. Remind me, I do have something that you said that I want to go back on. I'm kind of writing it on my scratch sheet of paper right here. So we'll go back. But so Hannah Goldie, one of our best friends, she's just an absolute stud. Really cool. She's great friends with Susie, fighter, friends with me. We talk all the time just about fight game. And not even that, we talk more probably about personal stuff and just about life and stuff of that nature. And she's doing different stuff with her life. Like she's getting involved with different avenues and really wants to build her brand and build Hannah Goldie and stuff of that nature. And she's like, "Dave, I'm down of doing something like that's kind of do stuff." So in Hannah's fashion, in my fashion, we don't want to just sit down and be like, "Hey, how is fight camp, Hannah Goldie? And how is this?" So we're going to do, and she lives 45 minutes from the house. We're super lucky. If you live 30 minutes from the house, we would go miniature golfing and doing the show.
Yeah.
Like we would do something crazy, outlandish every time. But with Hannah living so close, like she like we kind of came up with it together. She's like, every time, let's do something. Like we're gonna grapple. Like I'm gonna go to one of our practices and grapple. We're gonna go on a fishing and deep sea fishing endeavor. We talked about having like a beach day together and just with the families. And we actually have a really cool other family idea. I don't want to say because it might be the next episode. So every episode, it's going to be a fun activity.
That's so fun. Hannah Goldie is like, she's so fun. And anybody who doesn't know who Hannah Goldie is, she's a UFC fighter. She's amazing. She's beautiful. She's jacked. She's ripped. She's the whole package. Super mom, all of that. And let me tell you, when athletes post their sponsors and things like that, me being an athlete, I don't typically want to, like, I'm like, they're doing sponsorship things. Hannah Goldie is the one and only person who I have followed and seen her posting her sponsors. And because she uses that item, I'm like, I got to buy it because Hannah Goldie's using it. And Hannah Goldie looks like this and she's amazing. So I have like really like, that's such a funny, embarrassing thing is I've looked at Hannah Goldie stuff and bought stuff just because I'm like, Hannah Goldie buys it. I got to buy it.
People don't understand. Like I agree with you so wholeheartedly. There's some fighters or just people that I know or people, whatever I listen to or watch. And if they're like super down with this type of tequila or they're super down with this coffee, I'm like, I'm going to go that way. Like,
it was protein that makes your butt bigger.
Maybe that's the funny stuff.
I was like, I want my butt to look like Hannah Goldie's butt.
I baking cookies with her, and I've been around Hannah 20 times, and we've done so many different things. But that was probably the longest that it was just her and I. The kids were asleep. We were just baking cookies, and we did it for an hour. We went an hour long. I said it to her after the show. She is in a great way. Like we talked about it. I was like, and she's like, oh, she was so flattered by it and thanked by it. She is so jacked. I don't think people realize how strong and how her physique is mind blowing.
Oh my gosh, I know. I drool over Hannah Goldie all the time. Her face is beautiful, her hair is beautiful, her muscles are beautiful. I'm always just like, perfect human. Perfect human.
All right, you ready? So this is something we did not talk about off air, and this is something I'm going to bring up. And this is, I mean, I'm so intrigued by how you're going to comprehend and talk back to me about this. Did you
I don't comprehend well?
Huh?
Well, I said I don't comprehend well. But okay. All right.
Did you listen to our friend Ashley Evans Smith, the Rebel Girl? Have you listened to the last Sex and Violence podcast?
No.
Did you know who the guest was?
Yes. Miss old Jenny Savage.
Yep.
No,
so I had to. Taylor, I had to. Like, I was going to pass just because. So I was going to pass, but I was like, no, I got to listen to it. Like, I needed to hear. I was blown away. Like, the stories are crazy. Like, some of the stories she told was like, they were wild. Let's just say that they were wild.
I can imagine. I just, this is the thing people don't understand. I don't have a problem with Jenny Savage myself. Like, I'm not like, man, I just hate Jenny Savage. I don't feel that way. I respect her as a fighter. She beat me, X, Y, and Z. What I don't like about Jenny Savage is she will drag me on the internet for no fucking reason when I've done nothing but be absolutely respectful to her. And that's just it. And it's like, I used to like, I didn't have her blocked. I have her blocked on Instagram, but she has me blocked on Facebook. Look, we're getting into the drama. She has me blocked on Facebook, and she just continually was like posting like lies and dragging me and coming for me on the internet. So I blocked her on Instagram. So anything like related to that, I'm like, why do I want to, I wouldn't listen to that. Cause like, I don't think she was talking about me, but if for some reason I came up on that podcast or just anything negative, like I don't want to have any negativity in my life. I don't have time for it. So
right.
I blocked that out. I don't care. So like whatever she says about me doesn't bother me. It doesn't get to me. I don't look for it. People send me shit all the time, like screenshots and stuff, and I just ignore it because I don't care. Because like she's doing her thing. And like I've sat and said some really nice stuff about her. I believe like Jenny Savage has fought really good people in bare knuckle, I think. Like I mean, Sheena Starr's like not the greatest, but she was notable. She fought Britain Hart. She fought Delaney. So she's fought people that are known in bare knuckle and that have deep and good records, and I respect that and I commend that. But she is always fucking constantly dragging me for no fucking reason. So that's where the problem lies. And no, I didn't listen to it. I didn't mean to get that deep, but no, I didn't listen to it because I didn't want I don't want to hear anything like negative or crazy or anything that's gonna like drain the life out of my body.
No, I hear you.
But I love Ashley Evans Smith, and I know is or interesting.
Yeah, it was. Ashley's good, and she's really good of transitioning stories and kind of she's good of getting the dirt. Like she asked the question that sometimes when you're in it, you're like, I'm not going to ask that question because it's going to go down that road. And Ashley asked it. She just doesn't give an F, and she'll just ask it.
Yeah.
Well, last thing about it. Do you think she mentions your name on the podcast?
Probably, or mentions something. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Yeah. She did.
I hate Taylor.
It wasn't. It was actually. It wasn't as. She never said that. It was the three names she mentioned. Fighting a bare knuckle.
I think it was just like the drama or probably the drama with bare knuckle. Or
she mentioned Paige, Britain, and yourself. And her stories were she wants to fight Paige. That's the angle she's going. She really wants that fight.
That's a great idea.
Yeah,
that's a great fight.
Yeah, I was like, cool. She talked about Britain. About the Britain part was a little bit more. kind of drama-y. It was a little bit more. They kind of like mentioned Britain probably for 5-7 minutes on the pod and about how her fight and thinking she's good and not. And then she mentioned you once or twice, and it was like a minute about Ashley Evan Smith, our friend, like says, you're the good girl in a way, and you're kind of the not the role model, but you on a little bit of a pedestal. Like you have a great look and a feel about you for bare knuckle. From afar, bare knuckle throws your highlights a lot out there, and on the Tampa card, you aren't on it for more than 10 days, 12 days max. And Jenny was on that card for 25, 30 days, and you became the co-main event, and they were really pushing you on that Tampa card. And Ashley was just saying like how Jenny could be the bad girl bare knuckle and have the black and the goth and kind of have the devil, and just kind of having that demeanor and that look and that kind of around, and you're the good and the light and this stuff. So it was okay. Ashley Evans, so she's a G. So she is. We got good history with her. So
yeah, no, and I think that was a great person to have on there, and I think Ashley Evan Smith is amazing. Just when it comes to that, like if it's anything that I feel like is gonna remotely just like make me roll my eyes or anything like that, I just rather like avoid it. I'd rather just be happy and in my own world, like like whatever, fuck it. I don't care if it like there's no problem or real issue there. It's like it's an issue, but it's not like there's nothing to have an issue about. So I've kind of just gotten to the point where I'm like, I don't even care to hear about it anymore or hear anything related to it.
Okay. Last thing, and then our guest will be here in a couple minutes. I'm typing it, and then we're going to put it. Okay. So we are going to predict or pick KnuckleMania 2 Dream Fights. And course, you can't nominate yourself, and of course, I can't nominate you because right off the bat, I will pick Taylor Starling as a dream fight in KnuckleMania. So I'll let you go first. I want you to pick a dream fight, and then pick a fight that you're like, yeah, Dave, this is going to happen. Like without knowing inside information or whatever, be like, hey, it just makes sense for this to happen, and then I'll pick my dream fight, and then a fight I'm like, I think it's going to happen. It's not a dream. This isn't announced. I just think it's going to happen.
You want to go first?
I'll go first.
I'm like filtering through the humans.
I'll go with the fight that I think is going to happen. No, not a dream fight. It makes sense. If it don't make dollar, don't make sense. Like my great friend Taylor Starling said, I believe bare knuckle FC is going to match Arnold Adams, their heavyweight champion.
I love Arnold Adams.
Versus Dylan Kleckler, the bad boy, 3-0 in the bare knuckle FC heavyweight division. I think they're going to match them together.
That's a fucking great fight. I like both of them a lot.
I think that'd be bananas.
Arnold Adams is hilarious. He's one of my favorite people to run into and see. He's so funny. And Dylan Kleckler is a beast. So that's a great matchup. I got mine.
Okay.
The Johnny Bedford versus Jared Kid Gotti Grant.
Oh, that's good.
I keep hearing that's what's happening. I keep hearing there's going to be a title fight versus them, and I think it's amazing. If you were there when he fought Travis Thompson in Miami.
Yep.
I was like,
oh, he's good.
His boxing is so fucking clean and phenomenal. And to see it live was just like, wow. It was good. It was good. I'm a fan. And then we fought together on KnuckleMania when you fought Brandon Lambert. But to see him fight Travis Thompson and like just display that technique, it was so great. So him versus Johnny Bedford, I think would be a great matchup.
Yeah, and back to Bedford, and this is a great compliment. I hope this comes out the way I wanted to. He's kind of the exact opposite of Grant, right? He's so gritty and got so much heart and tough for days and will stay in the pocket. And he's kind of one of those guys that he just applies pressure and doesn't mind he's going to get hit, but he's going to hit you back. And if you're not ready for that, he'll kind of melt people. I've seen him legitimately melt people And that's tough to fight. Like sometimes you just need seconds or room or air. I remember you told me like you and Hannah for like 5 seconds are like, okay, we looked at each other's eyes and there was a mutual fighters agreement. We're gonna give each other 10 seconds here, you know?
Yeah.
So Bedford
I'm trying to think of females because there's really not too many to pick from.
And if it's not yourself, a little bit of a dream fight. I do want to see Rachel. I'm intrigued to see Rachel Ostovich back in there. I really am.
Actually enjoy to see her and Paige fight again, which sounds crazy and people would probably think that's nuts, but her and Paige again, I mean, one's got one win, one's got the other. Grudge match, boom, bang, pow, make it the trilogy, the last and final one. Winner takes all.
I think I got it. You ready?
All right.
I'm going to do Rachel Ostovich and Christine Fiera.
And that one is good because Christine fought her in Invicta and knocked her out with a head kick. And that would be just another storyline. Like, come on now.
I know. I like it. And it's kind of the two totally different sides and polar opposites. I think it's awesome. But all right, our guest is ready.
All right. Okay.
So I don't know if he can hear me. I think he can. I did not tell Taylor Starling, our surprise guest. She doesn't know who it is. I'm so pumped. I talked to him a couple times before back in the day a little bit. Super nice guy, great guy. And he's got a really, really big fight coming up in a couple weeks.
Let's welcome him?
Kaleb Harris to the show.
Hey! What's going
up, dude?
on?
Hang on, guys. What's going on, guys?
You hear us, see us?
Yeah, I can hear y'all. Can y'all hear me fine?
Yeah,
Yes.
man, you look good, brother. You look good.
You do.
Get that. I feel like crap.
Yeah. That's like fight camp.
15, 20 days out, right?
It was 4 weeks from Saturday. Math wasn't ever my strong suit.
Okay, yeah, we're like, 25 days out, man. Well, first of all, congrats, man, and also happy holidays, happy New Year's to you, Kaleb.
I appreciate that. Happy holidays to y'all.
Oh, thank you.
Fight
camp. What's going on? How's fight camp going?
Hang on, my headphones are acting retarded. There we go. Okay, they weren't even actually working. So, but it's going great. We've took things a step up. People are going to be kind of shocked at the Kaleb that comes out, I think, come January 29th. Other than that, it's just been really awesome finally getting to fight basically my hometown again. I literally live 10 minutes from the venue. So it's been fun, and I haven't got to fight in Jackson in 4+ years, not since I think it was my second pro MMA fight. So that would have been 2015, 16, somewhere along in there. I may have my years a little off, but it's been a minute. So it's fun getting to come back home, and I brought it here. It's cool to say that I brought BKFC to Jackson because I literally have the text messages to prove. I text David and told him, I was like, what do you need from me? What do you need? Venues? Do you need tickets sold? You put me, and I even told him, you put me and Elvin fighting co-main or main event for the title, and I will sell out. And so far I've sold about 17 grand worth of tickets, and I'm pretty sure there's only about 2 tables left out of the entire venue.
Holy crap, man. Congrats, bro. That's awesome. That's awesome.
When Kaleb Harris gives you his word, he comes through no matter what.
It's going to be electrifying.
That is so awesome. I had another question, but I'm going to kind of run with this for a second. That's an amazing story to have a big brand like Bare Knuckle. No one can ever dream, and it's not New York City or San Francisco or Miami, Florida, Jackson, Mississippi. You're like, no, guys, I'm bringing it here. And for you to freaking do it, like for you to go through with it, that's amazing. And then also not to just, like you said, not to be on the card or part of a card or integral part of the card. You are the main event. Your face has been on the poster. It's been 2 different posters, and I'll get into that in a second. But you're the main event for the world championship, brother. You're fighting for a world freaking title. That's amazing. That's a great story. That's a movie.
That is a movie.
Well, maybe one day it'll be, but I hope they get somebody good looking to play me because this face ain't meant for Hollywood.
Who would you want to play you?
Man, I don't even know. It had to be somebody that ain't even acting yet. Like they had to be walking around in diapers right now, because by the time I get done with bare knuckle, I'm gonna be in a walker, hobbling up.
I have the best idea. Dylan has red hair.
Yeah,
Dave's son, Dylan.
Oh.
He's 4 years old.
There you go. He's already got his.
Way better looking than you, bro.
Hey, look, I get people all the time tell me that when I got engaged to my fiance, I punted way out of my comfort zone, and I 100% agree with them. Like, that's the whole reason people are like, why do bare knuckle? I was like, well, I can't get any uglier, so I mean, why not?
You're killing me, man. You're killing me. All right, let's get to that. Let's get to that second poster thing. When because I know you threw out Evan's name before. And I know you guys are friendly behind the scenes, or a lot of respectful for each other behind the scenes. When the first time when you saw Julian Lane, or you got that contract option where you just didn't really matter who it was, it's in Jackson, Mississippi, and you're happy. Julian Lane's a humongous name, great fighter in his own, respect. Were you happy with that, or did you really want this Elvin fight to come to fruition?
So the whole story starts all thanks to my manager, Kevin Smith. I left first round management back before I actually ended my contract with first round management before the Noah Cutter fight. They'd already done the deal for the Noah Cutter fight. I paid my manager because we're still cool. It wasn't working out for us. I think they're more catered towards MMA, and like with BKFC, I really just needed somebody to argue price. I didn't need to argue where the fight was, or I just needed somebody to have my back as far as like making sure I didn't get robbed. Not that BKFC has ever really robbed me. It's just, this is a business.
Yep.
But back in December, or no, I'm sorry, back in like November, end of October, I get a text message from Nate and then my manager. And they want me to fight Jordan Nash on the December card, where one of my old opponents, Bobby Taylor, fought Martin Brown.
Where Taylor fought.
Yeah. I actually like that. I'm pretty sure her fight was the only one my fiance cared to watch. She literally she is a big fan of yours, and if she was in here right now, she'd probably be red faced.
Tell her, give her a big hug for me.
But I told Kevin, I was like, why am I fighting an unranked guy? No offense to Jordan Nash. Yeah. Why am I fighting an unranked guy? Yeah. And at the time I had some things going on, and he's like, well, we're just trying to keep you active, which I loved, because BKFC has been known to shell fighters until a big fight comes along, and I'm not that kind of guy. I don't want to do 1 to 2 fights a year. I want to do 3 or 4.
Yeah.
But I want to be smart about it. And so I told him I had some issues going on. I told him, I said, look, right now is really not a good time. Is there any downside to me turning down? He said, no. He's like, if you turn this fight down, and this is a point where I've sent a message to David Feldman about the Jackson fight. Nothing has come true yet. And Kevin tells me that, well, if we don't do the December card, we're probably looking at next year in Jackson. I was like, well, then I'll tell you what, let me recover from a few things. Let me take the holidays and enjoy it. And let's just get ready for Jackson. And then I got the call for Julian Lane. And I told them, they told me about the 165-pound tournament. I told them, I was like, that's cool. I said, but I wanted in my contract that once I beat Julian Lane, I get my title shot. I don't care who I had to fight, as long as my next fight after this was my title shot, because I'm one of the longest running fighters in the game right now. Short of, I think Lorenzo Hunt has maybe one more fight than me right now. I've paid my dues. My record's not the greatest, but you look at who I fought. I fought the who's who of bare knuckle. And so then Julian Lane decided he didn't want to get paid to fight. He'd rather fight for Instagram views. So they called me up, and literally the night it happened, I get a message, and it's I think Brandon Lambert was the one that messaged me first. He's like, Julian Lane just got in a fight with Mike Perry. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And then so I go and pull up the fights. I go and pull up Instagram and stuff. I see it happen. And about 5 minutes later, Kevin calls me. Says, hey, Julian, all this happened. And what do you think about fighting Elvin? I said, as long as it's for the title, that's fine. Because if these rankings are anything to go by, which they may not be, I don't know. I'm not throwing shade on anybody on rankings or nothing. The rankings don't match up with some of the fights that get matched with BKFC. So I don't know if that's their rankings or not. But if me and Elvin are number 1 and number 2, it makes no point for us to fight a rematch fight if it's not for the title. And so we talked about it. Kevin did a little bit of negotiating, and next thing I know, I get a phone call about 3 days later saying, we got the title fight, and this is what they're paying. This is what you're going to fight for. And, we signed the contract right then.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a
awesome.
great story.
I am a firm believer of speaking everything into existence. And if you just keep being persistent, shit will fucking happen for you. So I'm so happy for you. That's going to be awesome. And I can't wait to watch.
I appreciate it.
What do you think about the rest of the card, man? The rest of the card really filled out, to me, really good. I think it's a nice, deep, solid card.
I think the most common thing I get told about this card since it's been released is, why is this a BKFC fight night? Why is this not BKFC, whatever number it is at this point? And I told him, does it really matter? I was like, it means that the seats are probably cheaper, and that means that, you get better fights. Because a lot of people from where I'm from, they've seen me fight before when I fought local. Once I started fighting in Miami and I started fighting, down on the coast, it's hard to try to get a lot of people from where I'm from. Because, we're from a very low-income, blue-collar town. So it's not just a thing for somebody to hop up and, shoot a trip to Miami for the weekend like I've seen some people are able to do. But I'm happy for it. I'm excited for a few of these fights. It kind of is a bummer that I'm going to have to sit in the back all night. I may have to keep my head out here and there and watch a few of the fights. Really interested to see the Quentin Henry and Chris Sorrow fight. That's going to be some heavy hitters. Bobo and Allen fighting on this card. That's a big opportunity for Bobo, and another good fight for Allen to bring him into bare knuckle again. And the rest of the card, there's been a few that have gotten pulled, and honestly, I don't know many of the others that are on this card right now, and I apologize to the fighters for that. I got one thing on my mind, and it's gold.
That is.
It's gonna be wild in Mississippi. I can only imagine the crowd. That place is gonna be freaking lit. It's gonna be crazy. People are gonna be burning that building down. It's gonna be crazy.
Let's maybe not say that.
Don't actually burn the building down. But yeah.
Literal sense here in Jackson. Jackson, it's getting its own name out there, just not for the right reasons.
Yeah, don't burn the building down. Actually,
don't burn it.
But I am excited for it.
Very cool. Kaleb, one thing Taylor and I have been talking about right before you got on, a lot of KnuckleMania 2, the announcement, they threw that picture up. They showed the nice, beautiful Hollywood casino in the background. They showed a couple faces there and there, but no kind of fight announcements yet. If you were the matchmaker, if you were someone, a fan of the fight game or a fan of bare knuckle, if you had to pick a fight, you're like, oh, Dave, Taylor, I want this fight on KnuckleMania 2. What's that fight? What fight is going to really kind of get you boiling to watch it?
Honestly, because I don't pay much attention to most of the guys, the only and or anybody else for that matter, but that's not on my weight class. But I want to see Christine and Britton fight, and then I want to see Taylor over here fight the winner. Honestly, she's on a 3-fight win streak. She's got a lot of hype behind her, and Christine, was the title holder, lost the title, tried to come back, and it seems like they've just been trying to beat around the bush with her. And, I hate that as a fighter. I relate a lot to, just let me fight. And she's clearly down to fight anybody, but her and Britton had the fight once before. Britton has made leaps and bounds in talent since then. So I think it would be a really good fight. And I think that sets up the division to have newcomers coming in and having, okay, these are the people I need to beat,
Yeah.
As far as for the other fights, I'd love to see Luis Palomino fight again. I know he's made talk about coming up to the 165-pound division after the title's been captured by me. I'd like to see Yuli fight again. And all this is just talk, but I mean, if you're going to have fights down in Florida, I mean, Yuli and Lewis are two of the fighters you got to have on the card.
Yes, absolutely.
And I mean, other than that, I mean, just fighters that don't want to run. I want to see technical boxing, but I want to see fighters that want to fight. I want to see guys that want to run.
Yes, I'm Tay.
No, I'm a huge fan of Uli and Lewis, so I totally agree. But I guess what I was gonna ask is like, what has been, you think, the strongest thing you got going like this fight camp? Like, what is something that you really improved on and that you're really looking forward to showing off? And yeah, tell us the good.
So mainly, I'm a soldier. I'm a really good soldier. Like I'm not the master planner. I've got guys for that. I've got my best friend Dustin. Me and him have been friends for 23 years, been training for 17 or 18 together. I've got my coach Johnny, and I've got my other brother Josh Weems. They're my generals. They tell me they study film. I study with them, but it's more like, hey, sit down, watch this, and listen to what we have to say. And honestly, we're getting back to a lot of grassroots of the style of fighting that I was known for when I first came on the scene. We're just perfecting that. So we went away. Everybody remembered Kaleb that came out and was just nonstop violent pressure. And then you see in the Finley fight where I'm finessing with boxing. I'm slipping. I'm finding my timing and my range, and basically take what I started off with in aggression and take the skill that I have now with boxing, and we're kind of combining that and just really kicking things up, because I mean, I'm only 28 years old, but I've been in this game for 10 years already, and it's just now paying the dividends. Like I'm getting offers for contracts that are, jaw dropping. And so I'm looking at, okay, this is my next step. I take this belt, and when I take this belt, all the hard work, all the years in high school of losing relationships because I had to go train, or all the years of losing career jobs because I wasn't willing to give up fighting, all that's about to pay off. And honestly, that thought is what keeps me up at night. That thought is what wakes me up when I finally do go to bed. And that's the thought that I think about every single time I'm punching mitts or sparring or doing anything else. I'm literally just trying. I'm a kid from a small town of Lake Mississippi, graduated with a class of 42 people. Woo. And I'm just trying to make a dream come true.
Man, I got goosebumps, bro. I got goosebumps,
Me
man.
too. I was like,
I had 2-3 more. I'll ask you one more question after this, and we'll let you go. I know the Nate and the whole night, and I kind of want to. This is where I want to go, and then I have one more question for you. I do want to give you a humongous shout out. So you and I think we talked, I don't know, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, maybe even. That time flies, and COVID was crazy and all that nature. You've always been so generous with your time, so upfront. Like you said, I'm very, very honest, very straightforward. I've always appreciated that. And then I looked at my phone. You reached out to me before the holidays, maybe mid-December. You're like, hey, this is a big fight, big main event. I'd love to kind of talk to you, that kind of thing. I'm like, absolutely, let's make something work after the holidays. We had 2-3 people supposed to be on tonight. Stuff happens, life happens. It didn't go our way. I text you out of the blue. This is just pulling the curtain back, and you're like, absolutely, man, let's get it. And I just want to say thank you, man. I appreciate that.
You.
That's just I do, man. I appreciate someone. Hey, you're the main event. You could have big time. You could have done this or that. And I just I appreciate you just be like, no, I'll pick up the torch. Let's go, man. So I just want to say thank you.
It's funny because I didn't know who was coming on, and I was like, don't even tell me who's coming on. And I saw your name pop up, and I'm like, I've never really interacted with him, but I'm so excited for his fight, and to see you pop up on there, I was like, hell yeah, that's a great idea. So thank you for coming on.
Well, I'm glad y'all text me, man. I literally, I just got done with rounds. We did a lot of cardio and muscle conditioning tonight, and I literally just got done with rounds and sat down, and you text me, and I was like, yeah, give me 15 minutes. And then I was like, okay, 15 minutes, and then I got to do an interview for 30. Then I got to drive another 25 home, and then I got to eat. Then I was like, give me 30 and let me fly home. So I hopped in the truck, my work truck, and I hauled ass down down the interstate, got home, and literally I walked in, kissed my fiance, sat down on the couch, and logged in.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Last question.
I really enjoy this, man. It gives me a chance to talk. It gives me a chance for people to see me, because I'm not this loudmouth talker. And honestly, I think people would have been disappointed with me in the Julian Lane fight, because me and Julian were supposed to fight one time before. There was talk about it, and we tried to get something going. It never really happened. We were both just trying to stay active. But I'm not a trash talker. Never have been. I grew up my whole life. I'm the quiet kid. I want everybody to be happy. I'm like Betty White. I just want everybody to be happy. Rest in peace.
Oh, you got to go there with the Betty White.
But I want people to see me like Dustin Poirier is seen in the UFC. Dustin Poirier is probably one of my favorite UFC fighters besides Don Cerrone. He's a local Southern boy, and he's not afraid to step up and say what's on his mind if somebody else pops off. But at the same time, he doesn't go out there running his mouth. He literally goes out there and just, and he fights. He fights, and he uses his platform to help people, and that's all I want to do.
That's awesome. No, I love that, man. I love it. Hey, we're huge fans of you. One last thing, and then we'll kind of end it with Jackson, Mississippi, January 29th, Bare Knuckle TV app. There's 2 more tables left. Caleb, let's get to $18,000 in sales, all right? 2 more tables. One last thing, you threw out his name, and I was very intrigued. You know me, I love the game. I love Bare Knuckle FC, and I love what, kind of really big matchups. And you threw out, I heard Luis Palomino, and about him going up to 165. Let's just say, 120 on January 29th, you get the job done. The rematch goes well for you, and you win the championship. I'm super intrigued about that. You versus Luis Palomino at 165. That's a pay-per-view main event. That's a fight.
That's one of those. That's not going to be a spur of the moment type fight. That will be a fight that me and my manager, we've already talked, because I respect Luis. Luis is probably, in my opinion, one of the deadliest fighters in BKFC right now. Just in general, his analytical mind, his experience, he's got a lot going for him, and I'm on the rise. So of course, the older war dog is gonna, and the young puppy, they're gonna clash at some point, and I'm excited for that fight. But I will be prepared for that fight. That will not be a fight that is thrown on me on 4 weeks' notice. Opponent drops out and Luis steps up to take it on. No, that's not going to happen. I respect him too much as a fighter to know that is somebody that I need to prepare for a full fight camp.
Wow, I'm so intrigued. I would love that. Maybe a summer. A July, card, the biggest fight of the summer, maybe down.
The last time I was in Miami was when I fought Jim Allers, and I only got to see it out of one eye after that fight. So, I'm down to go back to Miami and fight again after I brought some, because once I have that belt, I'm gonna be honest, if it's not me fighting Luis Palomino at 165 for the to defend my belt at some point, they're gonna have to come to Jackson and fight me.
I was going to say that, Caleb. I was going to throw that out there. If to me, this is just me saying, Luis, that's not his weight class. So if Luis is coming up to fight you at 165, I think, especially if you won it in Jackson, Mississippi, I think you defend it in Jackson, Mississippi, and have Luis come up, fly the private jet to Biloxi, Mississippi, and then take that little car ride over and see you in Jackson.
I don't think he'd have a problem with it. Honestly, it has nothing to do with a lot of people want to think psychologically and that messes with fighters and stuff. I think once you've been in the game long enough, that doesn't really bother you anymore. Right. Like for me, I'm used to traveling all the time. It's actually weird for me to know that I'm going to sleep in my own bed the night before a fight versus a hotel bed. Yeah. But I'm more concerned that Bare Knuckle is going to know that that's going to be a high selling fight. And they're probably going to put it in Florida just simply because they know Luis is going to bring basically the entire city of Miami to that show. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, Miami outnumbers Jackson about 2-1.
Maybe more. Before we let you go, my man, the floor is absolutely yours. Any kind of thing you want to talk about? I think the last time we were on, if I'm wrong, I really apologize. But I do remember talking to you, I think about suicide awareness. Am I right on that? Okay, cool. I nailed that. But anything, any kind of sponsors, any kind of shout outs, the floor is absolutely yours, man. I appreciate you so much. Appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate you guys. And yeah, first I want to thank my sponsors. Y'all gonna have to forgive me. It's been a long day today.
No.
Downrange Lifestyle. Your ethos is what literally drives me. It's a veteran-owned company over in the UK. They have supplied me with gear. They also sponsor another fighter over in the UK that's a bare knuckle champion right now. Mary Jane's House of Glass. They have been by far the best sponsorship. I need something, they got it. The owner, Ben, takes care of me greatly, treats me like an equal when it comes to, hey, you know, what do you need? Do I need to send more? Izzy's Beauty out of Forest is a locally owned beauty salon by a girl that I went to college with. She has decided to sponsor me. I want to thank her. Chris Valentine with Greenheart Wellness is a CBD company, also locally owned in Jackson. Combat Ape, you know, my gym, Primal MMA that I own, and Black Sails MMA that I train at. I want to thank both of them. I know there's a bunch that I'm probably missing, and I'm apologizing right now for it. But my main concern is to talk about suicide. And to anybody that might be seeing this podcast right now, I'm a bare knuckle fighter. I mean, I feel like anybody that can say that they're a bare knuckle fighter can say they're a badass. I'm a badass, and I'm a man. And I'm telling you right now, there's nights where I deal with depression and anxiety where I'm driving home and I have no idea why, but I'm crying. I'm crying my eyes out. I'm screaming to God, you know, what's wrong with me? I dealt with it for a long time by myself. I started talking to people and I started reaching out to help others. And it's kind of helped me to accept more about some of the things I deal with and how I learned to cope, especially being in this kind of sport when overstimulation can really shut a person down. You have to learn how to handle that. There's nights where when I'm doing my rounds, I put headphones on, I cut the music on, and I literally watch hand signs for my coach because I don't need to hear so-and-so talking. And then there's nights where there's mornings where I wake up and I've told my fiance, today's just not a good day. And well, why? What's wrong? I don't know, but tomorrow will be better. And that's what I want to explain to somebody that may be out there listening right now. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to have a bad day. It's okay to yell at the car that cut you off in traffic, you know, and get home and feel like, you know, just screw the whole world. It's okay to do that. It's okay to take a day off from work because you were just overly stressed and you just want to stay home and play the Xbox and eat junk food for a day. It's not great to stay there. That's not what I'm saying. But it's okay to take a day for yourself. It's okay to think about yourself before you think about somebody else, because if you're not taking care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody else. And I had to learn that the hard way. So if there's anybody out there that feels like they're stuck in a dark tunnel, don't sit down. Get up and keep walking, because I promise the longer you walk, the closer you'll get to that light.
I love that. That was so good.
Okay,
I have my own like personal story with that. I lost my best friend to suicide. So when I have all kinds of struggles too. So I totally felt that. And just for you to say that, thank you so much. And that means a lot. And I 100% agree with you. And it's one of those things that you don't realize how much you mean to everybody. So also let everybody know what they mean to you while they're right in front of you. Tell them you love them. Let them know you're there for them. Like, so important. And also, yeah, like taking that time. So thank you. Thank you for that.
That was awesome. Kaleb, man, you're the man. I know Elvin Brito. I watched Elvin Brito live fight Michael Beast Boy Davis Island Fights 5 years ago, Pensacola, Florida. And Elvin took that fight on 20 hours notice and moved up in weight. And Michael was this big UFC prospect and went 3 or 4 rounds with him. He's one of the tough guys. I've talked to him before. I'm a fan of Elvin, but you know, just everything, especially in the last couple of days and just talking to you, man, I wish nothing but the best. It's in Jackson, Mississippi. I just hope at the end of the night, people are cheering. Everyone's happy. I hope it's a great fight. I wish nothing but success and be healthy. We got 25 days left, and I can't wait to watch it, man.
Let's
I'm a big fan.
go. Get that strap, baby.
Thank y'all for.
Tell your fiance that I said hello, and that I give her a big fat Killer Bee hug.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, man. Kaleb, thank you, brother. We'll talk soon, all right?
Y'all have a good one.
All right,
Bye.
man. Wow. How good was that?
So awesome.
How good was that?
Like, so outgoing and well-spoken. All of that.
Wow. Dude, sometimes in life, Taylor, you're supposed to go straight and the light turns red and you're like, man, I'm going to make a right here, and better stuff happens. And
sometimes you're supposed to have so-and-so on, and then the one you needed was right there all along. We didn't even know. Our red-bearded superhero. My partner, Taylor Starling. Boom. Man, that was awesome. That was a great show. Like, we went KnuckleMania. We talked a lot about Jackson. We talked about your raffle. Make sure you go to Taylor Starling's Instagram. Make sure to check out that raffle. We got another couple of days left. $15. We got Venmo. We got Cash App. Maybe a little PayPal, or just come on. It's Apple. Like, maybe they can even just slide you money, whatever. And Absolutely.
then Kendra Lust is going to sign it, do stuff. That's insane. It's bananas.
We talked about Betty White. She came up multiple times.
I know.
Betty White.
I know. 99 years old.
She was 100. We're just going to say 100. I love the Golden Girls, so that was like taking a big L for me. And I'm just like, man, all the Golden Girls are reunited now.
How many times have you listened to that song?
Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Yeah, I know my Golden Girls.
Man, that's awesome. That is so good. What a great episode. Episode 13.
There we go.
A surprise guest with Kaleb Harris, a main event in January 29th against Elvin Brito, a really big show, Jackson, Mississippi. KnuckleMania is February 19th. Hopefully, you never know. Maybe Taylor Starling gets a phone call. You never know. Those hands do look good, Taylor. They look all right.
Good. They're always ready to eat for everybody.
There it is. You giving out knuckles?
Can we do like a high five? Wait, it would be this way. I would have to turn.
We did it! You're the best, Taylor. Appreciate you. Love you, my friend. We'll talk very soon.
Absolutely. Okay, bye.
Bye.